Today I'd like to show you my outdoor watercolor easel setup. This is what I would take outside to do a little plein air painting. So I will go through all the components of this little kit and show you what I have. Stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome. I hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to take just a quick second to thank everyone for subscribing that's subscribed. That's really great and I really appreciate it, especially since there's such little content on this channel at this point, which I'm hoping to change here in the near future. I'm planning to do videos on a more regular basis. So anyway, this is the kit that I take out to do some plein air painting when I go. I live in Montana and I haven't had a chance to get out this year yet because we've just had snow. We got dumped on last week. It's the middle of April and we've got a little snow today. So I've been meaning to do this video for a while and I was really hoping to get outside and show my setup out there, but the weather just hasn't been cooperating. So I thought I'd show it indoors and just get this video out of the way. So anyway, so this is the kit. I think everyone's seen, not everyone, but if you've watched my other videos, you've seen this bag and what's in it. If you're interested in seeing what this is, go ahead and check out that video. So this carries my supplies, basically. But this video is primarily about the easel setup, or the plein air setup that I carry. So I'll put this to the side. I also carry a tripod. This one is a fairly lightweight model made by a company called Zomi, yeah, you can read that and figure it out for yourself. But this is kind of a, I'll open this later and show you what it is, but it's a pretty nice tripod for the money. And so there's that. That's the tripod I carry. Now this is the main part of what I use, and it's basically just, I'll show you a new one here. It's basically just one of these drawing boards. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. It's 17 inches by 13 inches. Or basically 43 centimeters by 33 centimeters for those who are measuring that way. So anyway, I'll go ahead and take this off. The board comes with a cutout handle at the top here, and it also comes with a clip, a metal clip that has these rivets that hold it in place. So this is the start of what I did to create my board that goes on my tripod. So this is what I use, and the main thing about this is that it needs to have a way to attach to the tripod. And so what I have here is a little, basically a T-nut. I drilled a hole in the board. And on the back side, you can see it comes through here, and I have a couple little rectangles of mat board glued on there, just to give it a flush surface right along here. So when it clips onto the tripod, it's the T-bolt isn't sticking out away from the board. It just gives it a nice, secure, solid clamp when I'm using it. Here, I'll show you what that little T-nut looks like. I just picked this up at Lowe's. I'm sure Home Depot probably sells these as well. But you might want to pause it there. It's called a brad hole T-nut, and then 1/4 20 by 5/16. And you can pause that if you need to write that down. But basically, and these are cheap. I mean, it was probably under $1, I think. It's this little little thing that's threaded so that your tripod mount can screw into it. And again, that's what this is. I'll tell you about all this other garbage that's on here when I set up the tripod, and I may actually go back and redo this and make it a little more streamlined after I put this together. I realized some of the things I'm not using like I thought I would. So anyway, that's that, and I'll show you how it sets up here. Okay, so this is the tripod itself set up, and I just wanted to show you the type of tripod that I use before I mount the board on there. I really like this style of tripod that has, you can see it has kind of a ball joint for the head here, and that makes it really easy to adjust your board and get it just like you like it. But obviously any tripod will work as long as it's something you can carry, set up easily, and yeah, I mean, anything will work, but this is what I prefer, and this is what I have. So okay, now that I have my board mounted to the tripod, I thought I'd go over a couple other things that I've done to this board that change it from the board that you would buy. First thing you probably notice is this clip, this metal clip is gone. And what I've done is I've just drilled out these rivets to remove it. And the reason I did that is this is where I wanted to have my palette and things. Some people may like having that clip on there to help clip things. So I've removed that. And I've also drilled holes for holding my brushes upright, and that's not working out too great, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I've also drilled holes here and here to hang carabiners and water from. These washers I've put over some of the holes for reinforcement. That didn't work out so great. It broke off of this one. But these are mainly here to attach things that have magnets on them. So I've done that, and I've also put these two wooden rails on here. I just glued them on with wood glue, and those keep my tools from falling off. So once I have this set up, I use these little magnet clips, and I think I just picked these up at Walmart, and they're the type of thing that you would put on a refrigerator and hang notes from. But I use them upside down like this, and they clip on the board like so. And what this does is it allows me to use my metal palette, my tin palette, and actually magnetize it right off to the side there like that. And that way this isn't taking up this space on my board. So that works out pretty well. And you can mount it like that. You can mount it like that. There's lots of different things you can do, but that keeps it on there pretty secure, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I'm showing how secure it is as it flops around. It's not too bad. I also use these kind of larger clips, and I've seen these at Walmart as well. And I use these to clip my media up to the top of the board. For instance, here's an Arches watercolor block that's 9 by 12. And you can see that this fits on here pretty well and leaves a decent amount of workspace here for tools and things. It also accommodates a small sketchbook like this Pentalic. And this isn't a plein air painting. This is an unfinished painting of a dog, but I thought I'd throw something up there that's that's not a blank page. So that works like that. With my rag, I tend to, you know, the rag for wiping brushes and that sort of thing, I tend to clip that onto the side of the board here, so it's hanging here and it's always at the ready for when I need to wipe brushes, you know, if I need to do this sort of thing here. This is how the rail works. My stuff just kind of ends up piling up. These holes ended up not working out the way I was thinking because I have these travel brushes, and that's mainly what I use. And since these don't have any taper to the handle, they just go right through. Something like this type of brush works, but I don't know. I just tend to use this tray down here. For water, I use a carabiner like this one, and that clips, I can clip it to the side over here, or I can clip it in the middle. And I typically clip it to the middle. And this is just a collapsible Faber-Castell water reservoir. And as I showed in a previous video, I just drilled out the sides and used a wire to give it some suspension there. And that just clips into the carabiner like that. And what that does is it gives me a place where the water is pretty much always level. If I put it up here, you know, it's going to be at an angle. My big reservoir I like to have down here. So when I'm painting, I just dip down into this area. So that goes like that. There's also, I'll show you kind of like, you know, I've got magnets on the bottom of some tools, and like the smaller reservoir will magnetize right on to something like that. There's one over here as well. If that wasn't in the way, that could magnetize there. But it just gives me a little bit of extra clean water if I want to use it that way. So anyway, yeah, that goes like that. I glued down a patch of magnetic stripping, and I kind of wish I hadn't done that because this actually is too weak. Like that'll stay on there, but it's not great. So these actual washers work really well. So that's basically what I do. That's my setup. Here, I'll show you a couple of paintings I've done recently, just for fun. I did these the last couple of weeks. Kind of small paintings, and these weren't done plein air. These were done in the studio. This is from a photo of a truck I saw on the side of the road traveling through Montana once, so I've kind of added a couple of workers. This is an old barn kind of near my city with a kind of an overgrown tree. So that's a couple of works that I've been doing lately. I'm constantly painting. We'll probably show more in the future. The next video I do will be about my palette and what colors I use and why I've chosen them. I've gotten a few questions in the comments about my palette and what colors I use, so I will go through that next. So anyway, thanks again to everyone that's subscribed. I really appreciate it, and stay tuned for more videos. Have a good one. Take care.